And we'll get to our morning business report. Amazon goes on trial this week to face claims that it tricked millions of people into signing up for Prime subscriptions.
And some major cities sounding the alarm about how Robo taxis are impacting traffic volume. Your reporter Jeff Vaughn has those stories and more.
Good morning. All markets up to open of the week. The Nasdaq gaining the most at plus 157 points in trading on Monday. Analysts now weighing in on that new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, saying it could slow innovation in America. But the financial impact would be modest for firms like Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, and Apple, which are Wall Street's most profitable companies. Well, this week a jury will determine if Amazon used deceptive practices to cheat almost 40 million users into signing up for Prime subscriptions. FTC alleges Amazon misled users into auto-renewing. Amazon denies any wrongdoing. Waymo, Robotaxi, Uber, and Lyft are driving for dominance in the autonomous rideshare space, but that increased competition could increase traffic. According to a Vox article, autonomous vehicles tend to skirt traffic laws, like blocking bus lanes and dropping passengers off in bike lanes. That adds to the potential for gridlock. Cities are now considering adding heavy fines for the companies violating those traffic laws and may add congestion pricing into the mix. Right now, San Francisco and Los Angeles are experiencing problems with only about 10,000 taxis on the streets. But AVs are expected to grow rapidly to 100,000 vehicles as they expand into cities like Austin, Atlanta, and Nashville. Real estate firm Compass is acquiring Anywhere Real Estate for $1.6 billion in stock. The combined company will have a value of about $10 billion, making it one of the biggest deals in the industry. Tomorrow, the U.S. Census will release new building permit numbers, a key housing market indicator, and jobless claims will be on Tuesday. I'm Jeff Vaughn. That's your morning report.